The silence in our living room is almost unbearable now. Just minutes ago, we were laughing together on the couch, casually scrolling through our phones, sharing silly little stories about our day. Then, with one careless comment about him not being manly enough to handle the spider in the bathroom, everything changed. He didn't slam the door or raise his voice. Instead, he quietly stood up, grabbed his keys, and walked out without a single word. That silent exit feels heavier, more painful than any shouting match we've ever had. I keep replaying that moment, trying to unravel where it all went wrong. It began so innocently. I called him from the bathroom, asking him to kill the spider hanging above the shower. When he suggested I just use a tissue myself, I laughed and teased him, saying he wasn't man enough to rescue his wife from a tiny spider. In my mind, it was just light teasing, the kind of playful banter couples exchange. But the change in his face, the way his shoulders slumped before he pulled himself together and left, made me realize my words had struck far deeper than I intended. Growing up, I always believed strength meant being able to joke freely, to tease and be teased without taking things personally. My family joked about everything, and learning to laugh at yourself was seen as a sign of resilience. But now, I'm starting to understand that what feels like harmless teasing to me might land as a harsh blow to someone else, especially when it touches something as core as their sense of identity. My husband has always been gentle and thoughtful. He solves problems with patience, not anger. These qualities were what drew me to him in the first place. Yet, somehow in that fleeting moment, I echoed outdated stereotypes about masculinity and what makes a man real. The irony isn't lost on me. I criticize him for not fitting a narrow mold of manliness that I don't even believe in. I love that he cries during movies, that he remembers birthdays better than I do, that he resolves conflicts through calm conversation rather than confrontation. So why did those words escape my lips? Maybe it was exhaustion speaking, or maybe deep down I was unconsciously testing him, waiting to see if he would rise to some imagined challenge, defend himself, or prove his strength. If that's the case, then his quiet dignity in simply walking away was the strongest answer he could have given. As I sit here in this suddenly empty house, I feel the weight of what happened settle around me. For men, especially those as sensitive as my husband, remarks questioning their masculinity feel like attacks on their very worth as partners and protectors. Society already burdens them with endless messages about not being enough. They don't need that from the people who claim to love them most. I think about all the times he has been there for me in ways that defy traditional masculine roles. He has held me when I cried over work stress, remembered to bring me my favorite tea when I was sick, and listened patiently to my anxieties without rushing to fix them. He has shielded me from loneliness, from feeling unloved, from facing life's challenges alone. These acts of strength may not involve killing spiders or flexing muscles, but they are real, profound, and invaluable. When he comes back, and I hope he does, I need to apologize, not just for the careless words, but for the mindset behind them. I need to admit that, even if only briefly, I bought into a shallow definition of masculinity that reduces men to mere caricatures of toughness. I want him to know that his gentleness is not weakness, that his emotional intelligence is a strength, and that the way he loves me has nothing to do with some arbitrary standard of manliness. From now on, I want to be more mindful of how my words might affect him. Teasing can be a beautiful form of intimacy between couples, but it should build up, not tear down. It should celebrate our quirks and differences, not exploit vulnerabilities. Most importantly, it should never make the person you love doubt their fundamental worth. The house feels too quiet without him here, and I'm learning that sometimes the most powerful response to hurtful words isn't a loud argument, but the quiet strength of someone who knows their own value, even when the one who should remind them of it most fails to do so.